Alright, so this week was one of those weeks where you open your phone and it's like the world is speed running the plot. John Cena is really retiring. Justin Bieber went back to bowling alley where Baby was filmed and it's literally rotting. Australia just tried to ban social media for anyone under 16. NATO basically went to the calendar and went, yeah, Russia might try something soon. And the US might start asking tourists for their entire online life like they're applying to join the Avengers. Cool, normal, let's get to it. I don't want to be dramatic, but I think we just watched an era die this week. Not like, oh, the vibes are different. Like, an actual symbols of our childhood and the rules of the internet are getting unplugged in real time. So I'm just gonna go through the biggest stories, and by the end of it, you're either gonna feel nostalgia, paranoid, or both. First one is genuinely sad. John Cena is having his final WWE match this weekend, and I know some of you don't want to watch wrestling, but you know, still, John Cena. Like, he's one of those people who became larger than the thing that made him famous. He debuted and he debuted in 2002. That's 20 years ago, which is disgusting to think about if you remember watching him as a kid. And he's not retiring because he wants to explore other opportunities. He's retiring because his body is basically done negotiating. He said he's had at least 10 surgeries, neck fusion, detached muscles, reconstructive stuff. Yeah, the whole list. He said he might show up in WWE sometimes, promote it, support it, but he's never wrestling again. And the weird part is, this is what happens when your heroes get older. They don't disappear in a dramatic way. They just stop because they're human. He's also walking away with the most world titles ever. So at least it's a legendary ending. But if that didn't make you feel old enough, here's the next one. Justin Bieber went back to the bowling alley where Baby music video was filmed. And I'm not exaggerating, it looks like a horror movie set. It's abandoned, floorboards ripped up, dark, empty, dead. And that's the most perfect visual of an era ending, because that whole time period was a specific vibe. Wii Sports, Disney Channel, Pee Wee died screaming into the webcam, Harlem Shake, chain messages like for this or 10 years of bad luck. We all lived in the same internet at once, and that bowling alley just sitting there decaying with Justin Bieber standing in there as an adult, it's like you're in childhood getting evicted. And the funniest part, now that the whole era is being replaced by AI slop and algorithm sludge, which brings me to my next subject. Time magazine did their person of the year thing, and it's not a person, it's basically the architects of AI. They're saying 2025 is the year AI fully arrived, no turning back, thinking machines, all that. And I'm not here to debate if they're right or not. I'm here to say it feels like everything is shifting at once: entertainment, work, privacy, even geopolitics. And when you mix in AI era with global tension, you get the next part, which is not comforting. The head of NATO just basically gave a warning that sounded like something your grandpa would say before turning off the news and staring at the wall. He said Russia could attack a NATO country within the next 5 years. And the creepiest part is how he framed it. He said Russia is escalating its covert campaign against Western societies already, and we need to prepare for the scale of war that our grandparents endured. That's not be careful. That's we might be walking towards a World War level of conflict. So yeah, that's in the air. But if you want something less apocalyptic and more personally offensive, the World Cup. So the next year's World Cup is in the USA, Mexico, and Canada, and FIFA decided to introduce diagnostic and pricing, meaning they could basically charge whatever they want depending on the band. And 2022, the cheapest World Cup final ticket was $600. This time, the cheapest ticket is expected to be around $4,185, 7 times higher. And they're also scraping concessions for kids, elderly, disabled groups, things that people assumed were normal. So the one event that's supposed to feel like the world unite is now priced like a luxury brand drop, which is insane to me because a lot of people have deep emotional connections to the World Cup. It's not just a game, it's a culture. But the World Cup drama gets worse because the tournament starts during Pride Month. Seattle organized a pride match during the group stages. Sounds nice, right? The problem is they planned it before they knew which team would be playing, and by pure irony, the country selected Egypt versus Iran, 2 places where being gay can get you imprisoned. Now, to be clear, this wasn't organized by FIFA, it's local committees, but still, it's one of those moments where reality's right comedy that's too uncomfortable to laugh at. If you thought that was the weirdest part of social media meets government policy this week, no, because now we get to the part where people realize their email might be getting read by AI, and everyone acted shocked like it's brand new. So this week, headlines blew up saying Google's Gemini Deep research can read your email. People panicked. Setting tutorials went viral. One post got 1 million shares, and the actual truth is more annoying than scary. It can only do it if you allow it. But here's the real issue. People are acting like this is the moment Google started reading your Gmail. Google has been living inside your data like a landlord for years. People turning off one AI setting is like putting a tiny band-aid on a house fire. Now, speaking of AI and corporate decisions that feel like they're approved by demons in a boardroom, McDonald's Netherlands dropped a Christmas ad that people apparently hated instantly. It was AI generated, and the vibe people got from it was basically, holidays are stressful, family is annoying, come stay at McDonald's instead. The song in the ad is literally something like the most terrible time of the year, which, yeah, that's not exactly warm and festive. It got so much backlash, they turned comments off, then eventually pulled the whole ad down, and then a production company involved tried to defend it. Actually, this took significant human labor, weeks of work, thousands of takes, heavy editing. Basically, AI didn't make it, we did. Instead of people going, oh wow, good job, they went harder, because the public's tolerance for AI ads is low when the end result still feels lifeless. And honestly, brands keep doing this like they forgot Coca-Cola already got dragged for the same thing. Now, let's get to the story that might actually change the internet. Australia is now enforcing a law that bans social media for anyone under 16. That's huge, because if it works, other countries will copy it immediately. Millions of Australians woke up to apps basically telling them, yeah, you're done. But people on the ground are already saying it's easy to get around. Some kids didn't get blocked, others switched accounts, some lied about their age, some joked that camera quality makes them look 40. So the big question isn't, is it a good idea? It's how do platforms enforce this without forcing everyone to prove their age? Because if the solution becomes national identity verification for social media, that's not just a teen ban, that's a whole different internet. In Australia, it's putting pressure on the companies by threatening massive fines like tens of millions. So either platforms figure it out or they don't, and this becomes a mess everyone else learns from. And while this is happening, the US might be about to do something even crazier. There's a new proposal being discussed that requires visitors to the US to provide up to 5 years of social media history, not citizenship, not a visa to live here. Tourists, and it doesn't stop there. They also want phone numbers used in the last 5 years, emails used in the last 10 years, family info like places of birth, and even biometrics like fingerprints, and mentions of DNA and iris data for a tourist. And the timing is what makes it feel strategic, because next year is the World Cup and tens of thousands of people will be traveling to the US for it. So if this becomes reality, it's not just security, it's a data collection event on a massive scale. Now, technically, the public has a window to comment before changes are finalized, but the bigger question is simple. Would you hand over your entire online history just to visit a country for a week? Because once you hand it over, you don't get it back. So yeah, that was a week. Retirement, abandoned nostalgia, AI everywhere, war warnings, internet getting rewritten, privacy shrinking, prices exploding. If it feels like the end of an era, you're not wrong. Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'm actually curious where you land on it. And if you want more of these everything is connected breakdowns, subscribe, because my name is Frankie Bryant and we're on the road to 100,000 followers by the end of 2026. So I appreciate if you join with me. See ya.